All right, going guys, Jeff here. Today's a Thursday, and we just had a lot of earnings yesterday. We had Spotify did earnings. We had Facebook, Meta Platforms did earnings. Snapchat did earnings. Qualcomm did earnings. And yeah, let's just say that earnings isn't exactly great. But anyway, let's go some news today. Anyway, let's get to the Wall Street Journal first of all. I did open up some of them. Okay, PayPal stock tumbles after disappointing earning guidance. PayPal actually reported the day before yesterday, and it was quite interesting to see PayPal drop so much because after PayPal wanted to so-called buy Pinterest, and then that thing didn't went through. PayPal went down, and then after that, PayPal went down even more, and then PayPal went down even more, and even more, and even more, and now with bad guidance, even more by 24% on PayPal. It's crazy how much PayPal is going down. I think that PayPal right now as a fintech company, I think PayPal is considerably underpriced. Of course, that being said, I still don't think that I want to get into PayPal yet because I think that the growth potential for PayPal is not really exactly as high as before anymore. People are starting to actually go to a lot more other various payment processors in terms of fintech, especially right now in this current year where fintech is like kind of like the buzz word at the bus industry, where everyone basically are getting into more fintechy stuff, such as your firm, and also all your other pay layaway model, which is your pay buy now pay later models. And yeah, I think PayPal wouldn't really be doing that well in terms of that sort of growth model. But if you're interested in getting PayPal, I would think that PayPal is considerably underpriced right now. Of course, not financial advice. But yeah, I think that what PayPal actually reported was actually quite bad. The guidance just made it even worse. And I think that's going to be the trend that we'll be seeing for a lot of companies right now. So this is kind of PayPal graph. Yeah, I remember PayPal was like 290, 300. Yeah, 290, 300 around this period of time. And then it just kept on going down and down and down. We at 163 now. Damn. And I don't think it's 163. I think we're even lower now. Let me just check. PYPL. We are at 130. 130. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. We are at 130 for PayPal. So yeah, PayPal is getting worse and worse. And I think that this is not just for PayPal. I think right now, especially for all the other companies right now, giving good um, earnings and good guidance, they might not necessarily be doing exceptionally well. So, for example, yesterday, for myself, my entire portfolio basically dropped by about 9% or so. But I have no idea why either, because the thing is that we were kind of expecting Google's earning and guidance to really save the market, but the whole market started to become scared again. Even though S&P didn't really move as much, didn't really go down. If anything, it actually closed on the green. The S&P, the Nasdaq, and the Dow Jones all were basically in the green. But the thing is that my entire portfolio still went down. I'm pretty sure the Russell 2000 did drop a little bit. So that's most likely where most of my portfolio actually went down on. But yeah, I think that right now earnings and guidance are not exactly the same as it was 2 or 3 quarters ago. We cannot really play on the earnings as we used to do as before. But yeah, I'm not sure why we suddenly had such a huge change. After having such a good earnings and guidance by Apple, the market kind of rallied for 3 days. Once Google had such a good earning, the market rallied for a day, and then afterwards, people kind of just shrugged it off and just went back all the way down. Of course, one of my favorite, which is Snapchat, also reported their earnings and guidance and was horrible to the point where they are down 15% pre-market. And that's horrible because Snapchat right now is at $27. And I would still think that $27 is a very, very good price target to really get into as well. But of course, that's just my bias speaking. I do have shares exposure to Snapchat, which is why I kind of still like Snapchat. I have not really went through their guidance yet because I just came back from a movies with my parents. But I'll probably be going through the guidance later on Snapchat to see, especially on the DAUs. I think the DAUs are the most important, which is the daily active users. I do want to see if they have any changes from their current 380 million, if I'm not mistaken. I want to see if they actually have a good proper growth for the next quarter, or are they actually guiding below? Chances are they're guiding below, which is why we're seeing this kind of price action. But yeah, okay, PayPal done. Okay. US national debt exceeds $30 trillion for the first time. So before I was doing YouTube videos on YouTube, I was actually mostly on Instagram. And again, before I say anything, if you're not following me on Instagram, right here, follow me on Instagram right here. Okay, but anyway, I've been talking on Instagram for quite some time, and I always say that you should look into the national debt for the US, because we actually were in a debt crisis for a period of time, especially with the whole infrastructure plan coming to play. Right now, they finally say that the national debt exceeds $30 trillion for the first time. This is basically the can that has been kicked down the road many times. Okay, so the US national debt exceeded $30 trillion for the first time, reflecting increased federal borrowing during the corona pandemic. The total public debt outstanding was $30.01 trillion as of January 31st, according to the Treasury Department data released Tuesday. This was nearly a $7 trillion increase from the late January of 2020, just before the pandemic hit the US economy. So I'm pretty sure that we all already know that US has been owing a lot of money, and the reason why US has been owing a lot of money is because they keep on printing the money, and then they kind of just kept on borrowing it and kind of returning it with interest and such. And then when the pandemic eventually hit, we have a lot of stimulus coming out. We have a lot of various packages trying to help the economy recover further. All this kind of came into play, and all these packages and all this stimulus all require money. Okay, which is why, according to the news, it said that it took up nearly a $7 trillion increase from the January of 2020 all the way to now, simply because of all the stimulus that has been injected into the economy. And this is like this whole big trend for us to actually talk about, because basically with all this so-called cheap money, that's how you create this overly frothy economy, and why inflation is such a huge thing. And because of that, people now are not going to spend as much money in order for them to bring out inflation, and then eventually that will cause deflation, and that will then destroy the economy, hence needing stimulus again. And this is kind of this weird cycle, which is why everything we need a fine balance in things. And that's kind of where we are supposed to be at. But the more that we are trying to get there, the national debt keep on piling up. And right now we just hit $30 trillion, which is the highest ever. I cannot even say since when, because this is the highest ever. And yeah, it's just gonna keep on going up, and that's our concern as well, because if the Treasury Secretary Yellen she's definitely in her own interest, she definitely want the debt to go lower, and that's kind of basically her job. One of her only job is to keep the debt as low as possible. But because if we constantly have all these situations that actually require the Treasury to come up to support the economy, ultimately there is always this constant argument that can actually plead the case. But yeah, $30 trillion for the first time. Not really super duper surprising, but yeah. Okay, we already saw this. CNN President Jeff Zucker resigns, citing relationship with colleague. Not gonna lie, I don't really care about this as much, because basically it's just a workplace relationship, and simply because he is the CEO, right? No, he's the president. So just because he's the president, he kind of have to step down because of that. So yeah, I mean, not too worried about it. Biden student debt pledge stalls, frustrating supporters. President backstall legislation to cancel $10,000 in debt, and plans for executive actions unknown. Okay, so for people who are not aware of what was happening, is that Joe Biden actually said that he would reduce the student debt for millions of Americans for his Build Back Better plan. And of course, people who are supportive of Joe Biden for this basically are usually on the side where they understand how student debt is actually very, very detrimental to youths who are just starting up, especially when they have not even stepped into the economy yet. And because of that, they actually got the supports from all these kind of people. And when all these people are basically just asking Joe Biden, so what happened to helping us with the student loan? What's going to happen to the $10,000 that you're going to help by reducing our student debt? Of course, all these things that Joe Biden did say that he will do is not done yet. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to use yet, but it's not done at all. So I'm not sure if Joe Biden can even keep to his words, to what he actually said that he would be doing. But ultimately, we are not sure where the Build Back Better plan is going to be going, simply because right now it's kind of in a filibuster state at the moment, which is why I think even McConnell did came out to talk about the filibuster rule as well, but I need to find the news about that. I have not really properly read that out properly. So yeah, May isn't that far away. How am I going to figure this out? Blah blah blah. DoorDash driver to supplement her income. A lot of people are not going to vote again because they feel like they're not being heard. That's what I'm saying. Like people, I don't know. Okay, honestly speaking, I feel that this is the last straw for Joe Biden. If he doesn't get this right, he's not getting a second term. Similar to how he's unable to get the whole marijuana legislation out. If you don't get that, he's not getting a second term. Right now, Joe Biden has overpromised on so many things, and he has consistently under-delivered on every single possible matrix. And because of that, I think a lot of the supporters are basically thinking that, I think it's not even worth to support Joe Biden anymore. And I would totally understand where they're coming from as well. And yeah, personally, of course, this is my own personal view as well. I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden, which is why I always used to go, let's go Brandon. But of course, I don't know who would be a better president as of now. Maybe Kanye West. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Joe Biden not looking good. Not looking good for a second term. It's going to be interesting for the next election, which should be happening next year. I would assume it should be next year where the elections start, 2023. That should be, probably. Oh, anyway, tech stock futures climb after strong earnings from Google parent. Okay, do note that this was for earnings on Wednesday. And I think this is old news, so I'm not going to read that. Since that didn't work out, the whole entire stock market is red again. Or at least for mine it is. Let's see. It's red. It's red. I'm down another 5% because Snapchat, I'm down 5% for my entire portfolio, but it's fine. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about this. Facebook basically just screwed the market up. Being one of the more prominent companies, being the F for FANG, we expected Facebook to actually deliver proper earnings, especially for this quarter, simply because we saw that Google was actually doing pretty well. We expect Facebook to be on the same line of things where they are also doing advertisement and such, which is why we thought that Facebook would probably be doing fairly all right. But no, apparently not. Where was it? Where Facebook actually reported? I saw that it was horrible because they missed on every single matrix possible, and because of that, their guidance was bad as well. And then that brought Facebook down so much that it was down by 22% or something ridiculous. What is Facebook at right now? It's down 20% pre-market. 20% pre-market. Come on. Okay. And yeah, okay. The issue is also that a lot of people are blaming it on Mark Zuckerberg outlining a pivot to the metaverse. So apparently, according to a news article, they did say that the metaverse currently have lost Meta Platforms over $10 billion, and that's one of the reasons why Meta Platform is down, which I can totally understand because, like I said before, the metaverse is not coming anytime soon. It's not going to be here this year. It's not going to be here next year. It's not going to be here in 2024. Okay. I do, however, see metaverse coming in 2028, maybe 2030, or even 2035. That's how far away we are to the metaverse. It's not something that's going to be here this year. Okay, so for people who are slightly more on the short term kind of things, for like myself, I am someone who actually thinks of things a little bit short term as well. Metaverse is not coming. Not today, not tomorrow, not this year, not 2023, not 2024. Okay, it's not coming so soon, and I think that's something that people are refusing to understand because they want to believe that metaverse is this booming technology that will change our entire life, especially with the whole pandemic that's going on. It kind of just fuel the idea that we need to get into this metaverse as soon as we can. Because right now we cannot even go out to meet our friends. We cannot even go out in public with our masks. We cannot even go out and enjoy ourselves. And that's why we need this metaverse. So people have this sort of emotion thinking that they need the metaverse, but they don't put into consideration that this metaverse is not that easy to build, and this metaverse is not going to come through that easily. Imagine Zucks, one of the smartest guy in the tech industry and one of the biggest company, okay, Meta Platforms, Facebook, and they are putting in so much resources to get metaverse, and they cannot even get it right. They're losing money, and they're probably going to be losing more money if they continue for the next few years. If that is the case, do you really think that metaverse is going to come anytime soon? And yeah, of course, I like to be hopeful. Okay, it's the same as how Elon Musk is trying to get civilization on Mars. Okay, I know that Elon Musk want to get civilization on Mars. Pretty cool. Okay, but we all understand that it is not going to be something that's going to happen in the short term, which is why even Elon Musk says that this is something that would probably take a long time, and that's why he don't want to bring Starlink to he don't want to bring SpaceX or Starlink public, because he do not want to give people public equity for them to actually so-called gamble on the fact that they might be able to go to Mars and such. He want to actually get everything down where this is a proper public company where it can actually survive on its own before he want to bring it public. But right now he just want to just cut it down to all the angel investors that he already have, and maybe a few private rounds. And that's kind of how Elon Musk is kind of treating this. But for Zucks, on the other hand, Zucks kind of just be like, all right, I'm going to change my entire company name and I want to go towards the metaverse. I'm going to show you guys how convicted I am at creating this metaverse first. And because of that, yeah, we can see, first quarter. Of course, I would like to be wrong that if Mark Zuckerberg basically show us the metaverse coming out by 2022 or 2023, I'll eat my words. I might be wrong. You never know. But I just feel that it's just not coming here anytime soon. So Facebook follow a 22% drop in the share price of Netflix when the streaming company reported slowing subscriber growth in the late January. PayPal fell. So yeah, over here you can kind of see this sort of pattern that's going on. When Netflix gave us bad guidance, down. PayPal, bad guidance, down. Now, Facebook gave us a bad guidance, down. And all of them are by 20%, 22, 25%. And now we have to worry about another one of this giant that's going to be reporting later on, which will be Amazon. And I honestly think that Amazon is going to be a troublesome one as well. Because Amazon right now, also, you have to understand that Amazon is such a big company, but a lot of time people who think that they are so bullish on Amazon are people who are bullish on Amazon lost leaders. A lot of Amazon loss leaders are the one that created Amazon's brand, and I think that the profit and business model for Amazon is not exactly the best. And I think that subscriber growth slowing down might actually affect Amazon to a certain extent as well. Of course, people definitely want to be spending more money during the holiday season. Quarter 4 should be a complete kill by Amazon. If I do not know of what happened with Netflix, PayPal, and Facebook, by right, if I have the same mentality going in and I see Amazon going through Quarter 4, I expect Amazon to kill on every single matrix, because Quarter 4 is Amazon's best time to earn money. Amazon can lose their Q1, Q2, Q3, but Q4 is where they destroy. Okay, and of course, if they just completely just sucks at their Q1, Q2, Q3, and when they do their Q4 and give a guidance for their next Q1, it could be bad. And because of this alone, I feel that them having a bad guidance for Q1 can easily topple them over, and that's kind of my worry here. And yeah, that's why. So I think Amazon's gonna be an interesting one to watch out for as well. So all right, enough about all this earnings and such. Yeah, Meta said for $200 billion wipeout among worst in market history. Damn. Okay, okay. Let's see. DeFi. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna. Bitcoin analyst shows prices may bottom soon. Fundstrat says. So for people who do not know right now, hold on, let me just bring it up here. Bitcoin is currently $36,300. And then we have Ethereum sitting at $2,000, 2.6K, $2,600. Okay, so they're not exactly good prices. They have actually been consistently climbing up and then falling down, climbing up and falling down. We haven't really seen Bitcoin test the 40,000 mark yet. Bitcoin basically hit 38, maybe 39, and then goes back down to 36 again. So it's quite frustrating to see what Bitcoin is trying to do. So right now, what they're trying to say is that Bitcoin is going to find a bottom in the next few months. Okay. But honestly speaking, right now, Bitcoin is considerably new. And I think it's very hard for people to give me just a good likelihood. I don't think that's going to be good enough for me to see a new low for Bitcoin. So right now, like I said before, I feel that easily speaking, crypto is in a crypto winter right now. And I personally would not want to be too close to crypto right now. Of course, I will not sell everything that I have in crypto either. I do think that crypto do have a future. Just that right now, I don't really want to really touch crypto as much. Simply because I feel that my money can go a further way if I were to use it somewhere else instead. But yeah, Bitcoin, I don't care. Okay, this boring. We already talked about that. Ooh, okay, Ford. Okay, actually, I do want to talk about Ford. But most likely, okay, you know what? I'll actually be creating a video about Ford in particular, because Ford is going to be doing their earnings later today. Well, technically tomorrow at 5 a.m. I'll be going through the Ford's earnings as well. Afterwards, for the Saturday video, I do intend to go through do a Ford video, because I did read out some very, very interesting things about Ford. And personally, I do have options against Ford. I do not think that Ford is that good of a company, but there are some interesting things that you might be interested in Ford as well, as I am. But yeah, I will actually leave those all in the Saturday video. So maybe if you're interested in that, then you can kind of just stay tuned for that instead. But yeah, basically other than that, we don't really have that much news. Yeah, everyone's just basically talking about earnings. I think this is the reason about the whole earnings season. During the earnings season, people basically want to talk more about earnings. People want to talk about guidance. People want to talk about how much they earn, how much they lost, the EPS, the revenue. And yeah, I think that's very, very normal. And for the past few earnings, I've always been consistently being able to earn money from all these sort of earning calls. But the issue is for this earning in particular. Right now, we are kind of in this very, very weird market, where good earnings does not really give us good result, bad earnings give us worse result, and this kind of keep on doing a lot of weird price movement in the market, and we cannot really promise what is going to happen. Okay, like Robinhood gave a horrible earnings, went down during the after hours, and then shot up so much they actually went back up even higher than before the earnings came out. Don't know how. And Netflix gave pretty good earnings, but bad guidance, went down 23%. PayPal gave bad earnings, bad guidance, went down 20%. Fair enough. Okay. Facebook, well, Facebook was kind of disappointing on both sides of things. Bad earnings, bad guidance, down by 22%. I guess they kind of count for it. Snapchat, bad earnings. I'm not sure about the guidance. I'll probably be going through the guidance after dinner. But yeah, I'm not hopeful for Snapchat guidance either. Google, superbly great earnings, great guidance with a 20-1 stock split. This is literally like the best formula for Google to succeed. And Google, I'll tell you right now, okay, Google, before earnings, they were at 2.7K. They went all the way to 3.1K.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Stop it. Stop it, Google. Hey, Google, stop it. I don't know. But anyway, and right now it's kind of at 2.9K. So they kind of dropped off from the 3.1K top. And like we do not know what's going on with the market right now, even though Google is such a good company. So yeah, Apple gave great earnings. I would say good guidance as well. They are still around the same price. They're still at 173. Before the earnings, okay, you know what? Let me just check. What before their earnings? Okay, before their earnings, they were 160. Right now they're 173. And FYI, 173. The last time we were at 173 was the 18th of January, basically 2 weeks ago. That's how crazy it is. Like, I don't know, man. The market is just so it's so confusing right now in the market. But yeah, I think that's the reason why it's interesting enough for us to want to learn more about the market anyway. But anyway, I'm gonna go have dinner with my parents. Afterwards, I need a shower, and I'll go through the Snapchat guidance, and also I will go through the forward video that I will be uploading on Saturday as well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.